Plentiful rainfall and soil moisture in many regions across Australia have overall set the Australian winter crop up for another very strong season. This is the Australian Bureau of Meteorology's root zone soil moisture chart. It compares May 2021 soil moisture to a 100-year historic range, with white showing average, red below average, and blue showing above average. So far this year, great conditions have been seen in WA's cropping regions and in New South Wales, which have helped both regions plant a lot more canola this season and take advantage of those great prices. However, in other parts of the country, serious trouble spots still remain. In South Australia, the drier conditions have meant that many farmers who are planning on taking advantage of those high canola prices have decided to play it safe and plant barley. Western Victoria is another trouble spot with very dry conditions. To help us understand just how dry it is out there, let's now switch to our Senior Rural Manager, Ned. Just how dry has it been in the Mallee this year compared to last year? And what has this meant for planting?
Yeah, Dennis, it's been significantly dry. We had some scattered early rains in the late summer and early autumn through March, but that meaningful break rain that we all look for in April hasn't really come for the majority of the Mallee. There's a little corner in the east, say south of Kerrang, that's had a bit more rain, but the true Mallee, as you call it, has missed out. So I suppose what that's meant for farmers is people have been dry sowing. So we're now sitting, the 28th of May. I would say 80 to 90% of the crop is in the ground, and with some maybe some legumes like field peas and that still to be planted, or the odd farmer who has held back a little bit, hoping for a bit more moisture to come about. And then as far as crop types, there might have been a slight lessening of some varieties, maybe a little bit less canola gone in, but I think as a whole, with the strong prices for canola and things like lentils that typically are a little bit more at risk, I don't think the area's dropped a hell of a lot. So.
Thanks, Ned. Well, let's turn our attention to the BOM 3-month outlook. BOM forecasts the chance of above average rainfall at a 55 to 75% chance in most regions in South Australia and on the east coast. The main trouble spot appears to be in WA, particularly in the Northern Agricultural Zone, which will definitely need to be watched in the coming months. Now, taking a little step to the side, we're going to look at the outlook for farm inputs. To do this, we're joined by our Rabobank's senior analyst Wes Lefroy to look at farm inputs. What do you see happening in the next 12 months, Wes?
Well, Dennis, let's just focus in on this season and where farmers are at in particular is purchasing urea. And we expect that farmers will be paying above average prices for the remainder of this season. Now, across the global fertilizer complex, prices have primarily been demand-led. We've seen big prices for corn, soy and wheat, which have flowed through to the farm gate. This has prompted extra demand for fertilizers right across the globe, but in particular in the Northern Hemisphere in their recent planting. Now, while local prices here remain healthy, basis at most major ports has actually declined considerably for grains prices, that is. And we haven't seen the local grains prices really fully realize the gains of global markets. So this in effect has considerably reduced the affordability of fertilizer. Now, we expect that global prices will begin to subside at some point late Q2, early Q3. However, we also think that this is going to be too late to be realised locally, given the time for procurement, but also the time for shipping to flow through to the farm gate. So any price changes that we are going to see at a farm level are going to be locally driven, both in terms of demand and supply. But overall, we expect that farmers will be paying above average prices for urea this season.
Thanks, Wes. That's it for this video. Be sure to check out what's happening in your state in the next video and to download our 2021 Outlook report from the link in the description below.